last Wednesday. So last Wednesday, we tried doing something like this. Sorry, I'm coming. Let me open this again. So this also will stop in our last class, right? And do we still understand how we got here? Who still understands this from our last class? Do you understand more? Do you get it? Do you remember it? You've never seen this code in your life. Okay. So, you understand it? You remember, Abby? Nice. Do you remember? Remember? Okay, good. Everybody that remembers, come and explain the code to me. Everybody was saying one by one. Mr. Dean, and Mr. Sorry, Wizard. Come and use your warlock powers. Okay, I should zoom. Okay, of course. Can you see clearly now? Okay. Please let me explain. Just explain this part, Mr. Wizard. And what would the calc, tip, and total do? What are they expected to do? That's Celestine. When you say query, I need to explain what exactly you mean by it. What do you use the calc button to do? What is the function of the calc button? Good. Now that's to calculate what exactly is the calc button calculating? The tips and the what? The percentage and the tips are the same thing. So it is calculating the tip and the bill. That's what it's calculating. Try. Nice. The next person. What exact? Then both of them have explained. Okay, so the two of you now will explain this too. They've explained the first one. So both of you will explain the function. What's the function doing? The two of you said you remember now. Are you really? So who's going first? Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't worry. Don't be scared. Calm down. Then explain it. Calc what detail? Okay. I'm not expecting you to like, okay, go ahead, try. Your opponent, is she your opponent? Okay. Nice. Okay. Simple. Everybody has tried. Everybody has tried. But that's what I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. Now, the reason why I'm asking this question, you should be able to explain your code. Because except you, even if you use ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, like AI, right, you should be able to explain what you've written. Because if you don't know how to explain what you've written, you always have bugs. Imagine your project manager and your company coming and saying, why is this code like this? What exactly did you do? And you're saying, okay, well, we have TIP, TIP. You understand? Like, how to able to explain your code? So that's the major reason I'm asking questions. I always ask questions about this. Now, just like both of you said, we talked about the event of click, right? What this is saying is that whenever this particular button is clicked, that is the calculator button. Whenever it is clicked, then we want to have a particular function. This is the function here. This is the function here. We've not written the function yet, right? But then we said whenever that particular calc button is clicked, then we want to have a function. And what is the function? We want to be able to get the we want to be able to get the tip amount. That's the first thing, and then the total amount. Do you understand it now? So what exactly am I saying? So I'm going to come here. I'm going to open it out. Open it up. If you write $100 here, and then you put your rate of 15%, right? Whenever you click on calculate, the function is that we want to be able to multiply this by this. That's the function. You understand it now? That's basically the function that we're trying to do. So if I click on calculate now, as you can see, it has multiplied it. 100 times 0.15 is going to give you what? 15. And then it's not going to add this 15 to this 100. And that's how it's going to give you 115. Is it clear to you now? Is it clear? Now, whenever we have, okay, sorry, this. Now, whenever we have this particular button click, we should be able to what? Multiply the value of bill, the bill of the person, times the rate or the tip that I want to what, give the waiter or the waitress. Is it clear to you now? That's exactly what we want to do. Now, we've been able to do all of these things. Do you understand up to that point now? You refresh the memory, and that's nice. So we move on. Now, this is now time for us to create the major function of what we want to do. So to create the function, All right. So let us just go ahead and um, so let's go ahead. Now, what exactly are we going to do? Is everyone here now? Is everyone here? Now, I can go ahead and create the functionality. And what's the major functionality? The functionality I want to get on the tip, isn't it? Now, getting that tip, what will I do? Again, to get the tip amount right here, all I have to do is multiply bill times rate to get it. Do you get it now? That's the mathematics that will go on. So what I can do now is I can create a tip amount. I can say let tip amount equals to what? I cannot give it what? Bill. And what is bill? This one, right? Right? Times rate. I can say bill times what? Times rate. Now this is just everything that you need. Right now, we've created a functionality right here. Do you get? Now I'm coming somewhere. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and so you create a functionality right here. Then I can come ahead and say, I can now say, whenever you now multiply this, we should be able to display. Now let me show you something. If I say console.log tip amount, just so that we can check out. Okay, sorry, it's not out. So let me go live. Just so that we can check out the value and see if we're actually correct. So let me inspect. Let me use my console to see if we're on the right track. So control, as you can see, there is no error. If I enter my bill amount now and I say 100, and I select an option and I say excellent, calculate. Can you see that it's giving me 15? See that it's working, right? Now, if we try out 110, sorry. If we try out 110, is there? Yes. We're calculating the tip amount. We're giving them $15. Now, if you do the same thing and you say, let's say 90, and you're giving the extra of calculate, so it's going to go 13.5. Now, as you can see, it's giving us 13.5, but we don't want to have what decimal place. We'll get to that as soon as possible. But as you can see, you have what 90. You are getting the percentage, isn't it? Now, how exactly are you now going to display it here rather than what in the console, which is the exact thing that we need? We should not be displaying anything in the console. It should be what in this place, right? Now, it should be displayed what in the tip amount. Now, looking at this particular tip amount now, looking at this particular tip amount now, what is the ID for tip amount? Tip, right? Then we've actually brought it out here, right? Isn't it? So all we just have to do is set the value of tip amount and equals it to what? To tip. So what am I saying? Instead of printing out the value of tip amount to the console, we will now what? Print it out to the value of tip. Now, how are we going to do this? That also works, but that's not exactly what I want. I'm going to give you an expo. The expo is leverage properties. Leverage properties. That's the expo. Now look at this thing now. How exactly will tip have the value of tip amount? How exactly is it going to have it? Again, leverage properties. In your DOM, how many things that you have? You have what? Method and what? What are properties? Values, okay. Entails, you get it now. Now, if you want to change the text that is here, right, and you want to add something to the front, which property are you going to leverage? Eh? You're almost there. Eh? He said inner.text. But both of you are almost there. Hmm? it can be text content, but you need to pronounce that in way. It's not inner text, it is inner text or inner HTML. That is exactly what we are going to manipulate. So we're going to manipulate either the text content, but we don't need to make it text content alone. We can manipulate inner HTML and what? Or the inner text. Now I'm going to use inner text. Why? Because we're only talking about text. If it is, you're talking about images and all other forms of elements now, you can use inner HTML. But since it's only text, just go for text. Now, you only want to what? Change that text. How exactly are you now going to do it? Which text are you changing? Which text are you changing? Amount. This one? Eh? This one? Is that what you're changing? So how will you change it? How are you going to change it now? We don't need to get it again. We've gotten it. Mm-hmm. Are you sure? Let me just show you how you can do something like this. To do something like this, all you have to do is do what? Tip dot inner HTML or inner text. That's all. So you're saying I'm getting tip, right? And I'm not getting the what? The property of inner text. Do you get it now? I'm getting the property of what? Inner text, and I'm setting it to what? To tip amount. So I can come here and say what? Tip amount. Now, if I go ahead and I come here, so let's come here now and let's try it now. Refresh. If I say 100 and I say select an option to excellent and I calculate 15. Now, if I say 1000, it's going to say what? 150. Now, there's an error here. What's the bug? The format of tip amount, right? Now, how are we now going to get that? To get that, we can go ahead and now say, instead of just setting it to the value of tip amount, we can now put it in a string. So we can use a backtip. So we can now say tip amount. I do not like this. What's the name? Let me see if I can disable my Copilot. Well, I've tried disabling it, it's not working. All right, tip amount, right? Then we can now have our what? Dollar sign. Don't forget, anytime that you are inside of a word of a what's the name? Backticks, use your dollar sign to get your variable name. So dollar sign. I want it to be dollars, isn't it? Or do you want this to be naira? Which one do you want? Dollars or naira? Dollar sign, right? So we can now what? Put it inside what? Tip amount. So we can have tip amount. So tip amount, and then we will now have what? So tip amount should be this. I think this is everything that we need. So if you come back here now and you refresh, now let us try 90 and let us try excellent. Calculate. Now tip amount equals what? $13.5. You have a question? Okay. So now that is how you can get your tip amount. The first thing that you've been getting your tip amount. Is it clear? It's not clear. See? Yes, this is. Now, if you check here, you have a dollar at the front. It's only going to recognize the first one beside the bracket as the major variable. This other one is just going to be a normal string. I can still remove it. I'm saying that. Check this piece. Do you see dollar sign here now? Exactly. So I'm saying that I want to give you the currency. I can give you euros, I can give you pounds. I'm going to put dollars at the front. You understand? That's exactly what I'm saying. Is it clear? Now, some people said it's not clear. Why is it not clear? Like, what are you having to do? Now, do you understand the inner text? Okay. Now, we have tip right here. We have, do you understand this one? Tip amount equals to B times rate. Good. Now, we console the value of tip amount so we log into the console. But it is not going to be living in the console, right? It's going to be living on your web page. So we need to manipulate it to the DOM. Now, what exactly is going to be having the value of tip amount? It should be this tip, right? So we now want to change the property of this tip, that's the text of this tip, to have what? this tip amount right here. Do you get? That's what we want to do. So to do that, we'll now say tip.innerText is a property. You should go and check out your properties again to understand more about properties. So tip.innerText to get the text. You understand? So equals to what? Backticks. Don't forget, I said you have how many types of strings? How many types of strings? Is it two? Like how many ways in how many ways do you write strings? What's the first one? Single quote, double, and what? Backticks. And I said backticks allows for functionalities in your string. Do you get it now? So now we want to make sure that this particular variable is being accessed in this string. What do you use? Use backticks. Do you get? So now you have tip amount, then you have what? The backtick, so that you can have this particular functionality in this place. So now, what exactly are we doing? We're now saying tip amount is equals to what? Bill times rate. You understand? This bill times this rate. That's exactly what we're trying to say. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to everybody? All right, let us go ahead and write. Yeah? Now, if you remember what I said in the last class, I said we have two functions. We have normal functions and we have nameless functions, right? No, that we understand arrow functions. Don't worry. That's even your arrow function is also a what? It's also a function. It's also a normal function or a naming function. Now, we have normal functions, and now nameless functions are functions that cannot exactly be reused. So, for instance, you are not going. I cannot reuse this. No, because I cannot call it in another function. I cannot call it in another place because it does not have a name. Let me explain it. You have your name function, your named function, and your nameless function. Nameless functions are functions that are used once. You cannot recall it. Can you reuse a nameless function? No, because you cannot call it in another function, or you cannot call it in another place. Now, why do you use nameless function? Sometimes you just want to have one function connected to a what? To an event. And as you can see, this function is connected to what? An event. That whenever you click it, this particular clicking is already calling this function. You understand? So you don't have to know the name. Now, if I now want to make it a function, and okay, I want people to know, right? I cannot give the function a name. I can now say, I can now go ahead and say cons name equals to what? This. Or if I don't want that, I can give it a what? A normal function keyword. I can say function. So I can say function new name. Right? And I can remove this. Right? Now, this function has a name. Eh? What did you say? The what? This one? No, I don't need to. This thing is an event. It's an event. So I'm saying that if you want to reuse this function, you cannot go ahead and give the function a name. As you can see, I gave it a function, then new name. Do you get? Now, but I don't want to reuse this function because there is no need reusing it. Is there? No. It is just a one-time function. That whenever I click on this calc button, it is only attributed to the calc button, as you can see. Only the calc button. That means the only button is only that button. Do you get it now? So that is why I'm not calling out this function. Because this click and add event listener has already called the function for me. All right, let us go ahead and write this out. If you are done, we'll move on to the next lesson.